So hi guys, this is Basha and you're watching Mastermind. So friends, this video is for all those students who are going to give their board examination, Icse Class 10 board examination in the year 2020. And as you have already seen in the title of this video, in this session we are going to discuss the important long question and answers, not the short question and answers, but the important long question and answers for your history board examination. And friends, before starting with this video, telling you that for your history board examination, the short question and answers you have to study. For your history as well as civics, you have to study all the short question and answers in detail properly so that you are able to write well. You cannot be neglecting any of the short question and answers because mind you, this is one of the most scoring part in your history and civics board examination, because from your long question and answers, it can so happen that you are not able to study each and every question in detail because you have to study the whole book and questions can be asked from anywhere. So long question and answers, it is quite difficult. But for your short question and answers, you have to study everything in detail, especially from your 10 years. You have to study it carefully from there. All the questions that are asked, you have to study that carefully. And mind you, in your short question and answers, while you are attempting the questions, you don't have to waste much time. You have to write it in short only. It is not that it is of 2 marks and you are going to write it for 5 marks. Time duration that you get, that is very limited and you cannot be wasting it. You have only 2 hours time duration you get for your history and civics board examination. So what you have to do, you have to manage time. You have to save time for writing your long question and answers. And for your long question and answers, now talking about your long question and answers, the syllabus is very lengthy and there are a lot many questions from your long question and answers. And since the time duration that you have for your board examination, it is very limited now. In the time duration that is left, you cannot be studying each and everything in detail, and you don't have to study only history, but you have to study many subjects. There are 10 subjects overall, right? So you have to focus on all the 10 subjects equally, and you have to start doing selective study. And selective study in the sense you have to study those which are mostly asked in your board examination and which is repeated most of the time, and you cannot be neglecting the famous topics that are asked from your history and civics board examination. For instance, you have Dandi March, then you have the objectives of INC, then what was the immediate cause of the revolt of 1857. So there are many questions which are the famous ones. You cannot be neglecting it. It is important that you should have the concept of all the questions which are mostly asked, which are repeated most of the time. Rather, the famous topics, you cannot be neglecting it. You have to study that well so that if questions are asked from there, you are able to answer that well. And mind you, one more important thing for your history and civics board examination, when you are attempting the long question and answers, so what you have to do, you cannot be writing it very lengthy. What you have to do, you have to write it in point-wise manner. Suppose a question is of 4 marks, so you have to write 4 points and you also have to explain the point. And if a question is of 3 marks, so you have to write 3 points and you also have to explain the points well. So friends, these are some of the important questions which are mostly asked from your long question and answers, and you can expect it to be asked this year also, that is for your Icse 2020 board examination for your history and civics. So these are questions only from history, it is not there from civics. So I'm telling you some of the questions, but if you want the PDF of this, because everything I cannot be saying it in this video because the video is going to be too lengthy. So what you can do, few of the things I'll be telling you, and if you want the PDF of this, so you are going to get it in the description box of this video. So if you want the PDF, so you can download it from there. So I'm telling you, from your first chapter you have to study, that is the revolt of 1857. It is important that you should be thorough with the political causes. At least 3 to 4 points you must know. The political causes of the revolt of 1857, at least 3 to 4 points. And then the economic causes of the revolt of 1857. Then the military and social cause, you should be thorough with that, and you have to write it in point-wise manner and you have to explain the points as well. After that, you have the immediate cause of the revolt of 1857. So you must be thorough with the immediate cause of the revolt of 1857. That was the introduction of Enfield rifle in the Bengal army. So you must be thorough with that. It is important. Then you have to study the Inam Commission. So Inam Commission and confiscation of land, you have to study that. What was that? And then you have the contributions of Dadabhai Naoroji. So it is mostly asked in your board examination, and also the drain of wealth of Dadabhai Naoroji. So you have to study that. Then you have the non-cooperation movement that was started by Gandhiji, and you also have to study the impacts. What were the impacts of the non-cooperation movement that was started by Gandhiji? Then you have Dandi March. So Dandi March, as I've already said, this is one of the most famous topics from this Mahatma Gandhi chapter, and it is asked most of the time in your board examination. Then you also have the civil disobedience movement and also Swadeshi movement and boycott movement by Mahatma Gandhi. And then you also have Satyagraha. So Satyagraha is also important. You must know what is Satyagraha and you must be able to write it properly. It can come for 3 to 4 marks. Then you also have the objectives of INC, that is Indian National Congress. So you must be thorough with that. That is also asked most of the time. And friends, then you have the World Wars chapter. So I have already said in one of my previous videos also that from your history, that is the World Wars chapter, that is your First World War and Second World War, both will not be asked, but from your long question and answers, it is for sure that any one can be asked. Either of this, you can get questions from either of this chapter, that is either First World War or Second World War. So you cannot predict the questions actually. So what you have to do, you have to study both the things in detail, you have to study both the chapters in detail. So you have to study both carefully, because it is for sure that questions will be asked from this chapter, either from First World War or Second World War. You can get questions, so you have to study both in detail. So from this chapter, you must know, from the First World War, you must know the immediate cause. The immediate cause, it was the assassination of or the murder of Franz Ferdinand. So you must be thorough with that. Then you also have the ideologies of Benito Mussolini and Hitler in Italy and Germany. So you have to study that carefully. And besides this, you also have the functions of General Assembly, and then you have the functions of UNESCO, UNICEF, WHO, that is World Health Organization. So you have to study all this carefully. And besides this, the PDF of this, if you want the PDF of this, so you are going to get it in the description box of this video. So if you want the PDF, so you can download it from there. So friends, these were some of the important questions which are mostly asked, and there are others also. I have not said each and everything because the video is going to be too lengthy. So what you can do, you can download, if you want the PDF of this, you can download it from the description box of this video. So friends, these are some of the important questions which are mostly asked in your board examination. And besides that, please start studying seriously for your board examination, because the time duration that you have for your preparations, it is very limited, and you cannot be wasting time. You cannot be wasting even a single minute. So friends, this was the video. That's all for today. And besides this, if you have any doubts or queries related to your board examination, so you can write to us in the comment section below. So friends, this was the video. Thanks for watching this video. And if you like this video, then please do give the thumbs up button and subscribe our channel, Mastermind. Thank you.